I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CCC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here, like I told you I would be, for this championship game we got tomorrow. We got Washington, we got University of Michigan, us going down, Adidas versus Jordan. Soon to be Big Ten versus Big Ten next year, but Big Ten versus the Pac-12, and the Pac-12, what seems to be Pac-12 last year, and the college football. We'll see how that goes in the offseason. But before I do anything, I would like that you leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Not only to my channel, but all the other channels associated with the Refuse to Lose network. You got the main show, Refuse to Lose, featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. You got BWT Baseball with Teddy, who hit y'all with a double header today. Went over the Cubs and the Brewers, predictions, things like that. You know, had me realize that Cody Bellinger is still a free agent. Got to look at the Tigers, see what we looking at. We got Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn, who goes over the NBA topics, try to go over guys that's under the radar, guys to look out for, rookies, stuff like that. We got in the red corner, who just had an interview with a trainer, Bud Crawford's trainer. Pretty good interview. Y'all check that out, featuring Ty, Fast Camp, and Ricky. We got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coons, which fantasy football season has officially ended about 10, 15 minutes ago. Bills won the division. If you know me, unfortunate sight to see. I'm not forgetting anybody. Dave Doghouse. We got the Doghouse, man, where Dave makes dogs and throw dogs in the doghouse. We got that. And we got Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. Self-explanatory. Talks about the Kings. I'm pretty sure he's going to be talking about the Kings tonight. Not probably going to be a good thing. But, yeah, man, just please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe to all the shows on the network. It helps us grow tremendously, and we appreciate it. And if you listen to a couple videos, if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, y'all know how my previews go. I give 5 keys for each team on how they could win the game against one another, and then I make my choice. So we got there's only one game tonight. I do have a special guest in the back room waiting, but yeah, we got to talk about this championship game. Hence my name. We got Washington versus Michigan, 7:30 on ESPN. You know the championship game. I had to put the time in the place you could watch it, right? So for number 2 ranked Washington, 14-0. Michael Penix, he'll be facing the toughest defense he's faced all year. Michigan defense has been stout, best scoring defense in the country all year. I know you're thinking, Carl, Alabama put up 20 on his defense. You're right. But look what it took for the first touchdown. It took a muff punt by Samadre Morgan, and then Jason McClellan broke a run for a touchdown. After that, pretty stout defense started the rest of the game. You see, Tennessee held them to 0-2, but you see they held Iowa 2-0. They held Ohio State to a low number. I can't remember off the top of my head. But this Michigan defense is nothing to play with. And is led by guys like Will Johnson, Mike Sarastil, and Josh Wallace at them DB spots. So then, now, Dylan Johnson, his game time decision, we seen his injury status. We seen him go out the game last Monday with an injury. His injury status up in the air. Will he play? Will he won't play? I guess we'll figure out more so close to game time. These receivers, I know I talk about these NFL caliber receivers all the time. But again, the DBs I mentioned, Will Johnson, NFL caliber DB. Mike Sarastil looking like an NFL caliber DB. Josh Wallace, it was always, hey, Will Johnson's on one side. Who's going to be on that other side? He stepped up and he's on that other side and he's playing well. Can those guys beat those guys? Can these receivers beat those DBs? Can they put pressure on JJ McCarthy? They got a couple sacks last week on Quinn Ewers. They're going to have to get to JJ. Going to have to make him get the ball out of his hands. You can't have JJ throw in rhythm passes. You got to get to him, get him out of rhythm. And if you can do that, JJ might miss a couple throws. He might throw a couple interceptions. Who knows? And the way you do that is you got to stop Blake Corum. You cannot allow them to run Blake Corum. You can't allow him to get going, getting 4 or 5 yards a pop, breaking long runs. That was a problem with Alabama in the overtime. Blake Corum, 7-yard run, 8-yard run, and then he scored the 17-yard touchdown run, just breaking tackles, couldn't get him on the ground. They were able to get the ball to Blake Corum in the flats and break long runs. If y'all remember that 4th and 2, ball went to Blake Corum in the flats. So you got to find Blake Corum and you got to stop him. Now for Michigan, number 1 ranked Michigan, JJ McCarthy is going to have to outdo Michael Penix. We know what Michael Penix is, man. Michael Penix is a dog, super accurate, super talented quarterback. He's going to have to outdo him. He's going to have to outdo that. He's going to have to find guys like Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson, Loveland, the tight end. He's going to have to find his guys. Blake Corum has to continue to find the end zone. I believe that he can break the record this year if he finds the end zone one more time against Washington. He got to find the end zone. He got to continue to keep running the ball across that pylon. They got to obviously put pressure on Michael Penix. If you can put pressure on Michael Penix, hold Washington to a low number, that obviously works in your favor. Can Will Johnson or Mike Sandstill get an interception off of Michael Penix? Can they turn him over? Can they win the turnover battle? And finally, will Roman Wilson or Cornelius Johnson find the end zone? Last week, I believe Roman Wilson did find the end zone to tie the ball game up. Will they find the end zone again? It helps significantly if somebody besides Blake Corum can find the end zone for Michigan. Now, with that being said, right, I gotta go Washington. Again, Washington is being picked as underdogs. They were underdogs against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. Won that. They were underdogs against Texas in the Sugar Bowl last week. Won that. I believe they were underdogs against Oregon the first time they played. Won that. When Washington are dogs, it is scary. They're used to being the dogs. They win as dogs, and they're 14-0 for a reason. And I get it. You think Washington defense can get got, which is true. They do give up points. But like I said before, big games, big moments, they step up. You got guys like a Jabbar Muhammad who's having a great year at cornerback. He's there. He can help take out Will or Cornelius, whoever they decide to put him on. You got guys in that defense that can make plays when plays need to be made. They step up. I get it. Michigan got guys that can make plays too, but somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. And I think Washington wins this game in a close one. I just like Penix running my offense more than I like JJ running the offense. So let's read these comments before I get my special guest on here. We got my boy Joe. Yeah, man. I'm going with the upset. I took the upset last week with Washington. I took the upset with Washington. No, I didn't take the upset in the Pac-12 championship. I did not. And they still won. So I'm going with the upset. And yeah, all right, cool. Joe was supposed to come on the show, but family duties called, couldn't make it. He didn't tell me his pick. I know his pick now. He's going with Washington. So boom. But let's bring on our guest. It's my boy in the doghouse. You know what I'm saying? He controls the doghouse. He's a Miami Hurricane fan. Pretty good season. I think they were like one game off from making my prediction correct. But hey, nonetheless, great recruiting class coming in. Mario Cristobal is working hard to turn that program around. Welcome, my boy. Hold on, let me get the applause ready for him. I don't want to do him like that. But let's welcome my boy Dave, Mr. Davey Dollars. How you doing, bro?
Man, I feel good. I'm excited. First time on CTC, so I feel good, man. I'm glad to be a part of the show and actually talk some championship football.
Yes, sir. So before we get into that, hey, we can flex on CTC real quick. Hey, both our teams in the NFL, we watching teams this weekend. Both our teams got a bye week first week in the playoffs. So
there you go. And it's crazy thing is we clinched the bye week in the same week.
Yes, sir.
Today we both lost with backups. So it's all good. It's all good, man. But yeah, I'm enjoying the bye week. and I'm enjoying being able to talk about, college football, one of my favorite sports. And yeah, man, I think the championship game is gonna be exciting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's get right into it. So I'm gonna ask you, who do you have winning the championship game?
All
And
right.
your reasons why.
So I looked at everything. I like the way Michael Penix is playing. He was second in Heisman voting this year, Maxwell Award winner. He's one of the best college football players in the country. He dealt with some injuries in the past, but he's doing whatever he can now with this Washington team and led them all the way to the championship game. I don't think anyone predicted that Washington would be here. Well, at least anyone that we know predicted Washington to be here in this spot. Winning the Pac-12 and making it all the way to the championship game. It's been an amazing season. Then you look at Michigan. And you see how you hear about, Michigan just don't win the big games. They just seem to be able to win those big games this year. For some reason, I just feel like it's their destiny. I just feel like it's Michigan's year. So I'm going with Michigan. I think Michigan's going to win this game. Now, I'm actually rooting for Washington to win this game. But for some reason, I just feel like J.J. McCarthy. And that defense, and not even just that running back. I just feel like they're gonna be able to do whatever they want and win this game. Not saying that it's gonna be a blowout, because I don't think it's gonna be a blowout win, but I do believe they win by a touchdown. So I'm going with Michigan.
You knew it was coming.
I figured that was coming.
So I mean,
and most people would think that since I am a 49ers fan, that I would be rooting for Jim Harbaugh. But no, I'm not rooting for Jim. I'm rooting for the team that I think the team with the better story, and I feel like that's Washington. The Pac-12 was pretty much ending now. It's gonna be no more Pac-12, and they're the last Pac-12 conference championship winners, and now they're all the way in the college championship game. So I would like to see Michael Penix play. You see, I put Michael Penix as a dog on the doghouse. So I'm excited about this game. I just feel like, I don't know. I just don't think Washington has enough on defense to be able to stop Michigan.
All right. So I'm not mad at your logic thinking. I'm not mad at your logic at all. To be completely honest with you, I'm really not. Michigan does have a lot. Michigan does have the ability to convert a lot of third and longs. I don't know if you heard the broadcast against Alabama. They're like one of the best teams in the country converting on third and longs. Now, do you want to live by that? Of course not. You rather not have them make it third and long all the time, but it's good to have a team that can do that. Now, with Washington, in my opinion, first of all, I do want to address something. I didn't have Washington going this far either, but I did have them making the Pac-12 championship game, losing to SC. SC was a major disappointment. But
major disappointment this year.
It's a major disappointment. I mean, I didn't expect much from that defense. I just thought they would be able to outscore a lot of teams. But that wasn't the case. But I did know Washington had a really good football team this year. I had them going like 11-1. Losing to SC was the only loss, and then losing again to SC, I believe, something like that. I had them going 11-1. I do think Washington does have the better story with the Pac-12 allegedly dissolving. What better way to allegedly dissolve the Pac-12 by winning the championship and winning the whole thing, the national championship? That would be a great story to go out on top, especially because Bill Walton calls the Pac-12 the Conference of Champions, which has been outdated for quite some time now. But
quite some time now.
Yeah, they had their moment. Don't get me wrong. Bill Walton, when Bill Walton was there, they were probably the Conference of Champions, but that ain't been the case lately. But so I get that. Now, like I said, with Washington, Penix, man, it's just Penix. Penix is so good. I think he can overcome. Kind of not exactly what Skip said about Lamar. Like, he's the one human that can overcome this, but I think Michael Penix is good enough to overcome this Michigan defense. As you can see against Bama, the second half, when Bama had a better game plan to protect Jalen Milroe, it wasn't as effective getting to the quarterback. And I think that can hinder Michigan if you allow Michael Penix to drop back, have time to read the defense, and find these open wide receivers, find these NFL caliber receivers. I don't really trust Michigan in a shootout, I think Michigan survives by having that great scoring defense and that defense allowing them to stay around and where the offense can just take over at the end. Like last week, again, against Bama, they were able to hang around, and then they go to OT and they win it in OT. And I think that's what has Michigan at their best. Now, a case for Michigan is that the Texas game, 2 late game turnovers, and Texas still had a chance to win it in the end. Michael Penix did not convert those turnovers to touchdowns. One was a field goal, and one they punted. So they weren't able to, capitalize. That could haunt Washington if they get the same amount of turnovers against Michigan and don't capitalize. So I can see why you picked Michigan there.
Yeah. One thing about Washington too, you already named it. Those 2 wide receivers, man, they're gonna be stars. They're gonna be stars in the NFL. I really think I really feel like they're prime position to be high draft picks in the NFL. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. But Michael Penix, I'm definitely excited to see what he's gonna do. I want to know where he's gonna get drafted as well.
I do too.
Let's just hope he doesn't go to a team with bad history. Commanders.
Nah, man. See, so this is the thing, right? This is how I feel. We could talk about this a little bit. So this is how I feel, right? I think if the Commanders do draft the quarterback, which I don't even know if they really do that, I think they do go for Caleb at 2. That's if. I told Teddy earlier in the chat, I don't think the Commanders go quarterback. I think they go Olu from Penn State if the Bears don't steal him. Because the Bears could also go Olu or Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think Penix would – I want to say Penix has evolved to a quarterback where he doesn't need to go to the perfect situation. He can go to a situation when they got 1 or 2 guys at wide receiver he can work with. Because I do remember Indiana a little bit. He had a nice little season, I think, albeit it was the COVID season, I believe. He had a nice little season one year. Indiana wasn't all that great, but you see these past 2 years in Washington's been spectacular. Now you can say, Carl, he had NFL caliber wide receivers for the past 2 years. And to that, I say you are absolutely correct. But
he's going to the NFL with some NFL wide receivers, so that'll help him out.
Exactly. So I'll say, man, I think he is a first-round pick. I think he's played himself to be a first-round pick. I know guys have the first 2 quarterbacks sold up, and I'm not mad at that, being Caleb Williams and Drake May. I'm not mad at that at all. But I think Michael Penix can play himself to being that the third-ranked quarterback in this draft class. I was also telling Teddy, I love Jaden Daniels. Y'all know Jaden Daniels is my guy. I was high on Jaden Daniels last year, and I asked him to show me something this year, and he did. But I don't think Jaden Daniels is the type of guy that can go to a team, let's just say, like the Patriots, where the weapons aren't that great, and he can just come out and ball. Or I don't think he's a guy that can go to the Panthers and just come out and ball. I think he needs to be in a situation where he got a couple guys. He might got an OC that can scheme some things up for him. I think he needs to be more so around the lines of a later first-round draft pick or a later second-round draft pick. So I think Michael Penix can play himself to be the 3rd quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, I think so too. I was going to say I think he could make an argument he could be the second one because I think it's almost a foregone conclusion Caleb is going to be the first one off the board, the first quarterback off the board. But somebody might like him more than Drake May.
Yeah. So see, look, I'm not mad at that either because Drake May, arm talented, special. This year, however, kind of turnover happy. Kind of turnover happy with the rock. And Michael Penix isn't really turnover prone. So I can see a guy going, hey, Drake May, second year, and was kind of happy to turn the ball over. This guy last 2 years had Washington really well, really good both years. I get Drake May took North Carolina to the ACC Championship last year. But that was last year. This year, however, they did not make the ACC Championship. They lost to Georgia Tech. So, it's things like that where I can see a guy go, hey, Michael Penix might play himself above Drake May. Now, me personally, I don't know if I can do that. I love Drake May, so I don't know if me personally can do that, but I'm not mad if somebody, on the draft board go Caleb, Penix, May. Not mad if you do that. I do think it can be interchangeable.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that either. But I think I have a question. Well, not a question about a question, but I feel like this is a question that should be asked. is Caleb Williams turnover prone? Because we saw that happen this year as well.
So, good question. So I could say that he was definitely pressing this year. I feel like he felt he had to make so many plays because his defense wasn't going to get the ball back. So, this year was definitely turnover prone. You see the game against Notre Dame. What was it? Xavier Watts had 2 interceptions doing them. I think he had like 4 turnovers that game. I think he had like a numerous amount of turnovers in the UCLA game as well. So like
He had turnovers in the game against Colorado too.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, this year for sure he was turnover prone. Now, do I think he's turnover prone in general? I don't know. It's also hard to tell too because USC O-line isn't the greatest either both years. If you remember Pac-12 championship 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, last year's Pac-12 championship, Boyd was getting punished against Utah. So it's kind of hard to judge it. Now, I do think Caleb Williams, spectacular quarterback. I mean, I'm pretty sure you agree. Makes a bunch of all-platform throws. Mobile guy, can extend plays, all of that there. A lot of people think he's a generational talent, myself included. So, and I think that's what's going to have people overlook certain things when it comes to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of people compare him a lot to Patrick Mahomes. So I think that's what's really putting him up there at that elite, college quarterback level. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this draft. But I'm really ready to see this game and see exactly how this game is going to go. Hopefully my job allows me to be able to at least work early or be off during this day so I can watch the entire game because I definitely don't want to miss it.
Man, yeah, not for real. I'm excited for the game too, man. It's going to be fun, like you said. I think it's going to be a touchdown game. Could be to where Michael Penix got the ball last and he has to score to win it. We see Michael Penix come through in clutch moments all the time. So I'm excited. I do want to see how this plays out. Is it Michigan's offense is able to keep up with Washington's offense? Is it Michigan defense is stifling Washington offense, and now Washington's offense has to come through late game to make a play? Is Michigan's defense too much, and now it's a blowout, and Michigan severely beats Washington? Or Michigan can't stick around with Washington, and Washington blows out Michigan? So I'm excited. I'm excited to see which way this game goes.
Yeah, I definitely think if it's a shootout, Washington wins it.
Yes, sir. I do too. I think if both teams are in the 30. Oh, breaking news! Did you post this, Dave?
Nope.
So breaking news: Arthur Smith has been fired.
Wow.
I wonder who called that weeks ago.
Well, since you said it, I'm going to post it in the NFL chat now.
I told y'all weeks ago in the game day show, man, Arthur Smith got to go.
And wasn't Tyler the one that said the Falcons will win the division?
Maybe. I think Joe did too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I said it, man. It was on the game day show a couple, like maybe or midweek, and they was asking who y'all think should be fired. And I said, I'm going to go a little different than y'all. I think Arthur Smith got to go. He batted it, B. He batted it. But, I mean, I'm not happy to see a man lose his job. But, I mean, I think it was time. Especially I saw that he went 7-10 3 years straight. That is crazy.
he's a game worse than Jason Garrett,
That is crazy. He got saved by the fact that it's 17 game seasons now. But
yeah,
about that. This ain't
that's
this
crazy,
show
man.
for that. I'm pretty sure we have a new topic for R12 show. There's an R12 show tomorrow, so I'll be tuned in for that. But any last words you gotta say?
I'll be tuned in too. I won't be on, but I'll be tuned in.
All right. Any last words you got to say before we end this episode?
The last words for me is just Mario, please get a quarterback. That's all I gotta say. Because Cam Ward done went to the NFL, so we have, there's some other quarterbacks out there, but please land somebody that's good.
You see Malachi Nelson, what's it called? Not to cut you off. Malachi Nelson transferred to Boise State. He committed to Boise State.
Yeah, I did. Matter of fact, I did see that. I saw that he was trending there, and I saw that. I did see the other one that he actually went there. But I mean, I heard that we were looking at the one of the USC's quarterbacks.
That's Malachi Nelson.
Oh, he
transferred. He committed to Boise State. That's why I said that.
I knew I forgot the guy's name. Oh my God. Mario, get a quarterback, please. Please.
Yeah, well,
Ja'Cory Brown looked okay, but he ain't looked like he's gonna be able to lead this team. I hope I'm wrong if we keep him and he actually plays well, but go get somebody, please.
Yeah, I can't even think of one that's like that isn't committed right now because Will Howard committed, Ty Thompson committed to Tulane. Like you said, Cam Ward is going to the NFL draft. Cal McCord, which that's not who you want anyway, went to Syracuse.
No. I'm glad he went to Syracuse.
Daquan Finn's at Baylor. Like I can't think of too many guys that's in the portal that you would want at this current moment. So it's going to have to be a high school player.
Hey, Mario, if you need to flip somebody or something, Cam Ward, if you go back on your decision and come to Miami, please, because we need it. We got everything else. We got a top 6 recruiting class, which is really good. So I'm excited about that, but we need a quarterback. You can't win without a quarterback.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. And TVD, did he transfer out or is he just there?
Yeah, he transferred out. He transferred to Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right. Ew, that's so nasty. That's nasty. All right, well.
Oh, well, don't matter to me.
Nah, I feel that for sure. I ain't got too much to say, man. Just hoping for a great college football playoffs. I don't want a blowout. Please don't. Like, the anticipation for this game is too high for it to be a blowout. I want both teams to come ready to play. I want a great game. I don't want it to end at midnight. So, please, if y'all get done around like 11 o'clock, cool with me. I got to drive home from my granddad's house. So, please, end around like 11 o'clock so I can get home and go to sleep at a decent time and get ready for work the next morning. But with that being said, I appreciate you, my boy, for coming on the show. I'll be back tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Excuse me. I'll be back Tuesday with the recap. I might have a special guest. Dave, you're more than welcome to come back on for the recap if you can, if you got the time, if you want to.
I'll have time. I'm off on Tuesday. So I'll have time.
Yes, sir. So you already know, man. You welcome back for the recap Tuesday. But with that being said, we gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.